Good morning, my fit family. So I wanted to try something a little bit crazy today, and one of the things that I like to push, especially for myself because I know I have a weak core, is to get your core really strong. And I usually tell my clients if you could do 3 1-minute planks a day, it will be helpful. But I realized lately, due to some stuff, I haven't even been following my own advice. So what is someone that is doing stuff on YouTube to teach you guys something is that I'm going to try to do 1 month's worth of planks in 1 day. Yes, I know. It seems very daunting. And I think I'm just going to try to experiment. I'm going to take you along with me. I'm starting a little bit later than I'd like to. I woke up with a little bit of back pain this morning and I wanted to make sure I was okay. So I'm okay, but I still have I have a former back injury that I have to be mindful of. So right now it is about 8:01, as you can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 10 1-minute planks with 30 seconds of rest in between. And since they're usually 30 days in a month, I'm going to do 90 planks today. Yes. So I'm going to start off now. Like I said, I'm going to just start with my planks to see how I feel. I'm going to take you along my journey. And of course, I'll show you before and after pictures of my core and my body in general. But let's just get to it. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, definitely like and subscribe. And again, I'm just showing you things that I used to think that if I just did a lot of ab moves in 1 day, I'd have a six-pack. And as we will probably see, that is not going to happen today. But it is a good challenge and just for us to learn a little bit more about it. All right. Thank you so much. See you real soon. Thank you all for Fit Family for joining me. So as you can see, I'm planking it out for you. 90 planks 1 day was definitely a lot. As you'll see, I want to just show you how I was doing it. I want to make sure my form was going to be staying great, so I decided just to film every block that I did. So you're going to see a lot of planks. I decided to do a little bit of a voiceover just so that we can talk a little bit as we go through this day. Your core is one of the things that you take for granted. I have a lower back injury earlier that day, so I definitely was a little hesitant to do the planking. But it was just interesting for me to realize what I needed to do to really push myself. And for that, I was very grateful I could have the time to plank for a day. All right, I just finished my first 10 planks and it's hard. My legs are shaking more than I thought it would be. I'm gonna drink a little bit more water since I got 8 more rounds of this for the day. And yeah, we'll see what happens. And thanks for joining me. Alright guys, I'm going to do my second round of planks. Just mentally, I have to leave in about an hour to go see a client, and I feel like if I only did one before I left, I would have a lot more towards the rest of my day. I think it's just more of a mental challenge of saying, okay, I'm going to get it done. So here we go, we're going to do round 2 and see how it goes. For my second set of planks, I decided to take off my shirt and to expose, you know, me. I want to be open with you guys as much as I can, and yeah, I do have extra skin from being overweight when I was younger, but it's not what I want to dwell on anymore. It does take a lot of self-work every day to get up and look at yourself in the mirror and know your progress, but know that, like I said, you are more than your body. And this is just my way of showing you that I am being completely open and physically there for you by showing you what my body looks like when I'm doing planking. The belly's gonna drop. It's natural. It's called gravity. So I wanted to just show you a little bit about it as we go through this challenge. I don't know if you can tell, but I am sweating. Maybe my palm's a little bit hot, but that was the second round, and believe me, halfway through my legs are shaking. I'm tired. I feel my arms, my abs definitely. So I'm gonna eat before I head out, and let's just keep going. For each round, I try to show a little bit before and after because your body does fluctuate throughout the day. So I was just showing you, trying to flex a little bit, and this is what you see. And it was just something for me to do to demonstrate how much your body can change. I noticed some differences throughout the day, like definitely, you know, when I was hungry or I just ate, my body was either, my stomach was either flattened or bloated, depending on what it was. But I knew that the changes that I was gonna pretty much see was not going to be anything comparable with what I felt. Just going into this third round, I can feel my core so much more. I was engaged. I was actually getting a little bit concerned. I wanted to make sure my form was great. So this is why I filmed for very different angles for you to see also that I'm planking. I'm trying to keep the form as much as possible. Definitely needed my phone during this time because, as you can see, I'm checking it. I had music on, I had videos just to keep me going, and most important, I had my timer. And a sandwich and had a big mug of Irish tea with some milk. So food's digesting, processing, but here we go. And as we continue on with this planking, like I said, I wanted to just be completely honest with you. These are things that I thought about myself, that if I just did a whole bunch of core moves in one day, then I would all of a sudden feel so much better. But as I've grown through my own fitness journey, I'm realizing it's just the challenges that I put myself through. And I know that I'm much stronger than I am, and then at times I need to really just buckle in and take out all the negative self-talk that I might have and focus on my task at hand. So I did this on a day off, obviously, so that I could plank, you know, 9 times for about 15 minutes. After I saw my client in the morning, I came home and pretty much planked almost every hour on the hour until I did all 90 planks. And like I said, this is not something I'm encouraging you to do, but it was something for me to learn about myself, that my core is strong up to a point, but then there were times when I was really concerned that I could feel in my abs. Another side effect that I can see is that my forearms were getting really raw from just holding my body weight. And obviously, as you do planking, you're going to build up your upper body. I'm grateful I have a little bit of a foundation with my upper body strength, but I know that was definitely the thing that I was feeling the most. And then I try to remind myself to keep my shoulders back, keep my abs engaged, keep my hips down throughout the whole time. You know, definitely as a personal trainer, I try to use cues that I know myself can listen to, and that's also why I recorded it. I wanted to make sure that my body was doing what it's supposed to do. Hips did dip once in a while, and that's why I was trying to really pay attention to what I was doing. When you're doing a task where it's very physical, you realize the physicality kind of cuts in and the mentality comes in really strong. I'm starting to feel the plank, my lower abs when I'm holding it in, and you can see my forearms are getting really red. So see how it goes. Building up the core one day, probably not the best idea. So I did everything I can to stretch. I tried to relax my arms as much as I could. I tried to relax my abs, and I just pushed through. As I'm going through these planking, I wanted to just show you that it is possible for you to do a task. Like I said, my task wasn't to get the aesthetics of it, but just to realize that my core can go through a lot of stress at one point, and I could push through. Definitely towards the last few blocks of the day in the evening, I start to really feel it more in my lower abs, which, like I said, knowing that it was just fatigued. I didn't have a strain. I didn't have any injury, which is great. And I also know that if I would have had an injury, or if I would have been prone to an injury in my lower abs, I definitely would have stopped it. Doing this experiment was fun. It was something that I wanted to just show everybody, but it wasn't worth me hurting myself. And that's what a lot of people go into fitness, is that they want to strive for this perfect body that they think is, which is either no fat, very lean, or whatever they feel as this perfect. But for me, what I've learned from my journey is that my perfect body is something that lets me work out every single day. I did have to film one side of myself from the back side. It wasn't just to show off my glutes. It was to make sure that my body was staying in line. And like I said, legs are pretty much engaged. I was hoping that the video would show some of my legs shaking, but as I sped this up, I realized you really couldn't tell, which is interesting, is that I felt I was shaking all over, but when I was looking back at the footage, you couldn't see it. So that was good for me to know as well. Like, again, you might be seeing someone do something physically, but you don't know how they're feeling. You don't know how they're perceiving it. So definitely have more kindness and grace toward yourself so that you can realize that you are doing a great job and you are doing more than you ever think you can. Unfortunately, for the second to last block that you're going to see, the camera died. I didn't realize that my battery would be going out as much as I did, so I didn't get to show my 77th, 8th, 9th, and 80th plank. I definitely did them. I hope you all trust me, that know that I am being pretty open and vulnerable and only telling you the truth. I did do those planks, and those were one of the harder planks. The last two sets of 10 planks were extremely hard. Maybe because my body knew that I was almost done and it was the end of the night, and the only thing I really wanted to do was have some water, maybe have a small treat, take a shower, and go to bed. And that's why I had to really push myself. So as you can see at the end, these last 10 planks, I really had to try to keep my hips up. They started to drop a lot more than I thought they would, and I was just trying to remind myself to pretend like this is the first set, and keep going. But at the last couple, I had to just collapse my body, but I didn't stop. I pushed myself, I talked to myself, and I was able to finish it strong. And I'm so glad I did, because I want to show to you that it is possible and you are so much stronger than you think you are. I am done. Thank you so much for keeping up with me. I didn't think I was going to be able to do that. It's about 8:30 p.m. I did 9 10-minute rounds throughout my day, and yeah, just gonna rest a little bit, drink a lot of water, maybe a little snack, go to bed, and then in the morning we'll see what my body looks like, and I'll keep you posted on what happened. All right. And like I said, after 90 planks in one day, did I notice a difference? No, I didn't notice a difference. Today is the next day, and I am pretty fatigued. Like, I can feel my core a lot, which is good. Definitely gonna take a rest day. I'm gonna stretch. And it's just good for me to know that I can plank. And after doing this video, I'm not gonna go another 3 months without planking once. I'm gonna try to keep my promise that I set for myself and for my clients, at least 3 planks a day. But now that I can challenge myself, I'm gonna try to do at least 10 minutes of planking, increasing my planking from 1 minute to, let's say, 1:15 to 1:30, and eventually getting to, I would think, a very strong 3-minute plank, which is very daunting to think about it, considering I was doing 1 minute, and sometimes during 40 seconds I was shaking like a leaf in the wind. So like I said, I just want to show you this video of me challenging myself, because I know how important it is for us to practice what we preach. And like I said, I deal with clients who don't want to really aesthetically look a certain way, but they want to be stronger. They want to have less pain. They want to move their body every single day. And I've given up on maybe having a thinner physique, because I know that as long as my body can move and I'm happy with it, that's my fitness goal. Thank you so much for joining me again. I hope this was a fun video for you to see, opening up a little bit. And yeah, let's just keep going on our journey. Continue to take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I'll see you real soon.